Hey, everybody. Welcome to PDQ Live.
Yeah.
Today, I'm joined with the one and only Jason Hanks.
Broke the mold. Thank you.
You did. Today, we're going to talk about becoming a PDQ power user. We're going to try.
Don't we have to be ones first? Or?
We do. Jason's been here since the dawn of deploying inventory.
Wow.
Yeah, you like how I said that?
I do.
So he's been around the block. He's done this a few times. Came from an education background.
Yep.
Right. Now currently a sales engineer. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Right. So he's helping everyone with the problems as they come into the product for the first time or they're wanting to try it out.
Yep.
He's that person that you go to when you're like, I don't know how to do this. Help me.
I'm sorry for you, but this is the best we could do.
Well, we brought you down today. So, Jason, where should we start? What do you want to start with? Teach me something new.
Teach you something new.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Let's just jump right in.
Okay.
So my main focus, my strengths are deploying inventory. The on-prem.
Is this an interview now?
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm like Dateline.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something to happen. So let's talk about the kind of like an overview real quick, and then we will. I like Rachel. Isn't there a plan? Kinda. No. But let's talk about some like quick tips that I've used over the years, things that have been helpful, like when testing, building stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll probably start in deploy.
Okay.
So if you're going to build a package in deploy, you can obviously do multiple steps, things like that. But like, let's say new package, I'm going to do an install step. But maybe before that install step, I also need to do a command to like do a task kill.
Yeah.
And I'll just do like a dir here.
Okay.
Just so it doesn't show as an error.
Yeah.
And so that task kill step, I don't want to have to run that each time I'm testing out the silent parameters, things like that. So if I'm doing testing, I can actually disable steps so that I can not delete something or, have to start all the way over. So that's something I've always liked. I also like that you can copy and paste steps, duplicate them, things like that. So if you have a new version of something, you can disable the old version, stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and that copy paste works like between packages. So if you have like a command step in package one and you want to keep that throughout the same of all your packages, you can move those between packages.
Yeah, so if I wanted to, and I'll even just like minimize that real quick and go to like the 7-zip package.
Yeah.
And I want to grab like this stop process, I can actually copy that and take it to my other package and paste it in there.
Yeah. That's the thing that like is not super intuitive. Like you don't know that you can do it.
Yeah.
It works all throughout both.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yep.
copying collection computers from inventory into deploy.
Yeah.
Lives there in your clipboard.
And I've used it between different machines too and stuff like that as well. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Not a widely used thing, but something that's helpful every once in a while, especially when you're trying to replicate something quickly.
Yep. And Mike called it out in the chat too. This works between servers. Like maybe you have two deploy servers and you want to copy between the two, like you have two RDP windows open, that works too.
Yes, it does.
I've done that. Yeah. As you're like setting up one, I'm like, I don't want to take the whole database. I just want these bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's see.
Love the idea of disabling a step.
Yeah. That's
right. And copy and paste stuff between.
Yeah. Cool. And while we're on like the packages from us, so we'll jump backwards for a quick second. You'll notice on like the packages from PDQ library that I've downloaded already, these are all grayed out because this is what we call an auto download package. So we'll talk a little bit more about the auto download in just a moment, but these steps are kind of locked in. We don't allow you guys to make changes to them, but you can do things with pre-steps and post-steps too. So you can actually go in here and say, after I do 7-zip, I want to do a reboot, or I want to put a message up to my end user, new version installed or something like that. Yeah. And those will stay persistent between new versions of the packages updating.
Yeah, so as this package is updating, your pre and post steps stay the same. Yep. So like if you don't like that, something enables auto update, disables auto update, you can go change it here and it persists.
We see that a lot with like our Chrome package where we disable auto update and some people go in and do another registry change to like re-enable it because they want it to auto update on its own kind of thing. Yeah, see that all the time. Let's do this. We were also talking about, let's kind of touch on the auto download because that ties into like setting up testing stuff. Things like that too.
Like I want 5 computers to get this version immediately when it's released.
Yep.
Then 15, and then mass group, right?
Yeah.
Kind of control that rollout in your environment.
Yep. Yeah. And so,
Okay.
and also just to kind of be clear, we're already kind of expecting people that are watching the show today to know that inventory is kind of where you identify stuff, deploys where you push stuff out.
Yeah.
And so using those two in tandem.
Yeah, we're starting at like your baseline knowledge is like you know how to use a product, so now we're going to like maybe color outside
We're tweaking
the lines.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, if you notice that auto download, I've got like 9 packages that have an auto download. We didn't make that very big, did we?
Oh, no, we didn't.
But like, so for example, Dropbox, I have a new version and there's an auto approval that as soon as we release it, like our default setting is 7 days.
Yeah.
So when PDQ hits the button 7 days later, when this timer runs out, that version of Dropbox or whatever package it is will actually auto approve here. If I'll just approve it now.
Yeah.
And you see it download. So in essence, it's not when it's going out to the target, but it's when those packages from the library are getting refreshed with new versions that come out. So that ties into that what you were saying about setting up testing.
Yeah.
So like I've got this Chrome package. The default setting for those auto downloads is 7 days. So when a new version of Chrome drops every 7 days, there's a new version and it will update, but it may not deploy right away. But I also want to send it to a certain group. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this package.
So when you duplicate it, it maintains its auto download
Yep.
behavior.
The exact same thing. The only difference is it puts a fancy 2 on it. Or 3 or 4.
Okay, so however many like groups or rings or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I usually do like 1 test ring, depends on the org. But if I go to properties on this one with the fancy 2 and go to the options, I can actually say, forget preferences. I want to have my own approval for this package. So on this one, I'm going to make this one immediate. I want it as soon as a new version drops, I want this package to update in the list. And this is where the eyedrops come in.
So you can see the fuzzy.
Yeah. So right now what I've done is I've actually made this a test package.
Okay. So now you got 2 versions of Chrome now.
Yeah.
One can update the package immediate as soon as it hits the library. The next one 7 days later.
Yeah. So imagine a new version drops today.
forking this.
126, something like that.
Yeah.
This version that says test will actually auto approve immediately. This one will wait the 7 days. So I would set up 2 different sets of schedules and targeting. So let's kind of tie that together with the collection library. So collection library is mimicking package library. So I've got a collection over here for internet browsers and Chrome and all my machines that are old. And obviously I've got quite a few in there. So what I did is I created a test group. I'll scroll down. We'll talk about that fun thing in a minute.
Yeah, that thing is cool. I saw that for the first time this morning. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
I know. So in my test machines group, this is a static group. So you can have static and dynamic groups. Static group is, hey, this is a list of machines that's never going to change.
Sure.
Dynamic is going to be based on the criteria of whatever the filters are.
Yep.
So in this case, Hulk, Iron Man, and Jarvis are my test machines. And what I did is I made a subgroup, and I'll open that up real quick, that says, show me all the computers that are a collection of, or member of the collection of Chrome old.
Okay.
And the test machines group right above it. And I could have done drill down too, but we won't get into that right now.
Okay. So this is saying you're old and you're my tester group.
Yep.
And this is the one we're going to tie our immediate
So my immediate
to.
package would go to this group.
Nice.
And then I've got the schedule kicking off once a week, whatever I want to do. But when the new package approves, it'll actually kick off to the rest of the fleet. So now I've got a window of 7 days to say, anything happen?
You listen for it's the scream test of did anything go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you could do that with pretty much any application. You can create other groups and deeper things, but yeah, that's just a basic overview of that.
Yeah, so you can rinse and repeat this for everything you've got.
That's all I do in this console is rinse and repeat. As a matter of fact, that ties into your what is that thing that
Yeah, let's talk about rinse and repeat. So this console is unique because of your role.
Because it's mine.
Well, it's yours and your role, right? So Jason, you're doing demos.
Yeah.
And you've got a set of VMs and you've got this console. And a lot of times you run through the same things with people over and over again.
Yep.
So walk us through some of the things that you've done to like keep this console in like a automatic
ready to go
reset without having to do a bunch of work.
Yeah. So first, I'll collapse this test machines group and this footprint agent for a quick second.
Okay.
So everything that is above here will collapse the collections and kind of give you the default. I want to be able to show to customers when I'm on this that like this is what you would get when you start your trial, not what I've done.
Yeah.
So everything below this line I built.
Okay, how did you make that line?
So this is a static collection with the name dash. That's all it is.
And you changed the icon.
Yeah. This is a pretend line to separate default collections from my own.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that's
Like,
so cool.
it's just the little things.
And then once you create it, you right click on it and you go to view and you go item appearance and you make it whatever icon you want. So if I want it to be a key, I can make it a key.
Yeah. See, like that was the little things I see that are just like, oh, that's a quality of life improvement.
Yeah. What's the dash button on the keyboard? Thanks, Zach.
It's the same place as the any key.
Yeah, exactly. So the other things that I do to kind of keep things pristine. So let's do this. I have an automation set up, a schedule.
Okay.
But I want to tie it to how I use it in my calls, which we'll talk about uninstalls, and then we'll go back to my pristine.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Because you're like, I'm going to go install this thing, show how it works.
Yeah,
I've
got to be able to replicate behavior
Yeah.
over and over and over again without having to go back after each call.
Okay. Show me how you're doing that.
So like I use Hulk a lot. I break Hulk, make him angry. And one of the things that I do is I will go to the applications panel and I will uninstall 7-zip from Hulk.
Okay.
And you'll notice on our applications, if you scroll over,
Because you're showing the like right click on install feature.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's the uninstall string that we are getting from the vendor, right? We're not creating that. We don't make the
This
uninstall
is what's
strings.
in the registry. Like we're just serving.
Yeah. So if this, and I think it was like version 19 of 7-zip didn't have the /s on it. So we had to add it manually.
Cool.
Ooh.
Wow.
But like you'll notice like footprint uninstaller.exe, there's no silent parameter on that. So if I was to right click and say uninstall, that command would run against the machine, but it wouldn't do anything.
It's just gonna sit there and hang.
Yeah, technically in the background, there's a box that's popping up going, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And you can't see it. So I'm going to uninstall 7-zip from this machine. And so you can see by right clicking, there's the command. Also, I want to point out, anytime you run a command, there is a history that I'll show you when this command's done, that you can see all the commands you've run. So if you're doing a proof of concept and then you want to do it again on the next machine.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I not know that there was a command history there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You tell me.
And guess
something new.
what? You can pull it from anywhere when you're on the run command. So if I wanted to, I could go pull a report, go to all the machines that have 7-zip. As long as they have the same uninstall string, I can select them all, right click, say run command, and then grab that from the history and pull it against all of them.
Wait.
I'll show you.
Show me.
Well, here, and let's talk about my automation real quick. So return code 0. Yay, we got success on a demo.
Okay.
And you'll notice 7-zip is gone. Yay, the machine rescanned, gone. I know that's the least exciting part of this. But I have a collection I built called Machines Missing 7-zip named Hulk.
Look at that.
Oddly specific.
It's almost like you do this often.
I know. And then I have a schedule that's set to run every 45 minutes.
Because your calls are an hour long?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my next run's 32 minutes. So by the time I come back for my next call, 7-zip's already reinstalled and I don't have to do anything.
Like a coin operated hangs.
Just wind me up.
Okay, show me how you can pull that tool history.
So let's even take that a step further. So let's say that 7-zip is the application I'm trying to uninstall. I'm actually going to right click on my report. So I went to default reports.
These are basic.
These are what come with the program.
Yeah.
I don't mess with these because I can't tell you how many times I've jacked them up and had to figure out how to get them back or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So to get them back, right? Let's say you've done that.
I don't do that.
But let's say you've done that.
Yeah.
How do you get them back? I know how I would get them back.
Oh, I want to know how you get them back.
How I get them back is I go to the app data, PDQ inventory, and then go to the database file and rename it. And then I reopen inventory, right? And then I export all of the stuff that comes in there because it's a new database.
That's too hard. I just installed it on another machine and grabbed the report and exported it.
Sure. I was going to say, that's a long way around to do it.
Yeah, you're doing it the hard way.
Oh, whatever.
All right, well, anyway, so I always say to potential customers, I never work on my original reports. I always duplicate.
That makes sense.
So I'm going to open up applications report, and obviously you can see the same computer names over and over again and what's installed on those machines. And this is a lot to read, but I'm going to right click on this and group by the name of the application. So now I've got all the different applications that are installed. And obviously 7-zip has, different versions, so it's going to have different entries, but I'm going to see everything that's installed. This is where I'm going to find coupon printers, TurboTax, all the things that I approve for my staff.
This is like your discovery.
Yes. Yeah. Right. This is a very broad scope of hey, I've got all these machines, I scan them.
To bring an IT buzzword, this is where you look for shadow IT.
Yes. And now what I could do is if I was making this a more permanent function, I wouldn't type it in the temporary filter, but I have all the different versions here. And so I can right click and expand that, and I can see all the different versions.
Okay.
I'm even going to go back and define the report and go in and say, you know what? I need to make sure that the uninstall string matches for all these versions before I just run one command. So I'm adding the uninstall string to that. Okay. And now I can see the uninstall string for every version.
Bro. Okay, that was cool.
So now if you're trying to uninstall like an old antivirus or, something.
Okay.
Now, granted, you can see like that doesn't have the same silent parameter on it, but we know it needs it.
Yeah.
Right? So
that was that version 19. You said that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could let's do select all, and I could right click and I can go to tools and I can go to run command. And there they all are.
Okay.
And I can go to
targets.
I can go to the history, grab that same and run it against every single one at the same time.
Okay, that's cool.
So this is where I would do something that was not setting up an automation that I wanted to happen all the time. I knew all my devices are here. They've all scanned. I know what I've got, 5, 10.
Yeah, but this is your shortcut because you can test on one machine, get your commands in this command history.
Yep.
That is game changing for me. And then run it on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that because then I'd have to break everything.
All right. We have a couple more things, but I think we have some questions.
Yeah.
Should we take some questions, see if we can get stumped?
I'd like it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's take a few questions. Tools from the library have descriptions. How can I add descriptions for custom tools that I've created? Yes, I still want this feature. Sincerely, W. Fordham.
Tools. Okay, so we'll go to the tools library, which is right here. And so this is, creating a new tool.
Sure.
And this is the commands, everything that you want to do. And you want to add a description so that it shows up on this panel back here to say what this right here.
That there.
Sorry. Yeah.
Isn't that because that's a library feature and it's being served by the library, not in the application itself?
I don't know.
I think that might be why.
I think what he's asking as a feature request is, hey, I can build my own tools. Why can't I put a description in there? Which I will agree with. I will put in that request for you. Doesn't mean it's going to happen because I don't have any pull around here. But yeah.
All right, Kelly, we got some other stuff.
Yeah, let's hit a few more. This goes back to something you guys did earlier. Will the duplicate and original package share the same downloaded installer, or will it download the installer twice?
I'm fairly certain that it will use the same installer, but it will duplicate the installer.
Yes.
So it's not going to do another download process.
Yeah.
But it will recreate it so that it's its own entity tied to that package.
Until the immediate trigger happens.
Yes.
Right? Then you've got two because you have one package that's referencing this old one. It's going to keep like version 1.
Yep.
And your immediate makes it version 2.
Yes.
So, right. And then once the 7-day window comes up, it sees that 2 is already there. It's going to hang out there.
Yep. Yep. As a matter of fact, I believe it does like a 2 on the package as well, or the install files.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's actually something that's kind of a good housekeeping tip. When you have all these new versions, yeah, I know
you're being bad.
Ranch yelled at me earlier.
Yeah.
This is a little link in the bottom, but you can also go to preferences. It helps if I go to the right menu.
I'm glad you know where it is in the menu because I get up here and I try and use keyboard shortcuts and realize half these keys have been taken over by AV tools and they don't work.
So I can do see unused files here, and this is how I would get that shortcut to show or not show on the bottom. This is every file that's in my repo that doesn't have an associated package.
Yeah.
So as I'm doing demos and calls over and over again, this gets filled up quite a bit.
Because you're orphaning stuff all the time.
Right. So I every once in a while get a message from you guys saying, hey, your hard drive's full.
Yeah.
And so I can actually go in here and say like, yeah, let's get rid of all those QGIS packages that are 1.2 gigs.
QGIS is a beast.
Yeah, well, I have to show stuff, man.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, good housekeeping.
Let's grab one more question before we move on.
I'm not feeling stumped yet.
Yeah, and this is kind of a statement. I wish the inventory collections could auto-sort. JM Wink.
Can't they?
Well, the collections that come from the collection library are a format that don't change.
Yeah, but like your custom ones.
You know what? This is going to be a feature that I hate to use, and I never use.
All right, show me.
But in inventory, if I go to collections
and
I click on collection library, I can actually right-click and hide library collections.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. So if I want to go down here and say, yeah, servers. Oh, I don't have any of these.
I will also tell you that I never use this window that you're in right now.
I
I'm
don't
always
either.
on the left-hand nav.
Well, you can do it from the left-hand side as well. This is just a more concise where I'm at without showing results. But I can say, yeah, I don't have any of these server flavors. So I can actually hide these so they're not viewed. And I can see that they're hidden. And so when I go to Windows Updates over here and I go to servers, I only see the ones that I wanted.
Oh. Well, that's neat.
So that may help you a little bit, but there's no auto sorting.
Yeah. All righty. Okay. You've got some other things in here. One of them, I think you were talking about Wake on LAN.
Oh, the old school. Okay. So again, I came from education. So what I used to do is I had a shutdown package and a reboot package that I ran every night. So shutdown, I shut down all my computer labs, all my student machines in the classrooms.
You're being green.
I know.
Okay.
Didn't win any awards. It didn't matter. I was just having fun. But anyway, so I had all those computers in their own groups and things like that. And the teachers started to complain like, I have to have somebody turn them on in the morning. I'm sorry. So I could right click on a machine, go to tools and say, wake. That seems like a manual process, doesn't
Seems like
it?
I have to think in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So what I did as a workaround is I created a package.
There's no like a wake step.
Correct.
Either.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, wake
Wakey.
me up.
Yeah.
And then I would go in here and I would just do a command step. And I would just do a derpy dir. And then I would save that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's all exciting. So let's see. That's somewhere down here. Wake me up.
Yeah.
And I would right click and I would say new schedule.
Yeah.
And then on the
Shortcut
schedule,
there, so not having to attach a package.
I would go in and say, like, I want this to run every morning at 6:45, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Targets, I would choose the targets from inventory. And then on the options, I would tell it, if I can find it. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Oh, offline settings. I would say for this package, send wake on LAN. I didn't do it globally. I did it just for this package in the schedule.
Yeah.
So now I would send this package at 6:45, which doesn't do anything to the devices, but it would attempt to wake them up.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's just a little workaround thing.
That's like a nice little like quality of life thing.
That is quality power user stuff right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to build
I don't
it
know.
up.
In my opinion, the power user stuff is when you just find the little things that are like not technically complex. They just make your life easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you know what?
You got one more? You got one more, and then I want to show some stuff in PowerShell.
I'm gonna kind of tie this one to what I was just doing. So let's go back to the schedules for a quick minute.
Okay.
One of the things that gets overlooked a lot is this options on the schedules.
Yep.
The reason why this is important to understand is these little buttons down here. So first things first, stop deploying to remaining queued targets. This is going to be kind of a maintenance window for you. So you're deploying this every day at say 5 o'clock. And it's an update that you only have to do updates from 5 to 7. That's the only window you have. And you're deploying and you know they're not all going to finish. You can say, hey, stop after 120 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't do the rest of them that are queued up.
Okay.
Stop.
You have like 300 computers. You know you're only going to make it through 100 a day.
Yep.
Ish, but you don't want to chunk it out into that.
Right.
So you say, okay, stop after like 120 minutes, and then the next day your schedule processes, and the next schedule in you, and you get the next
Yeah,
one. So you
it
can do this
basically
rolling
fails.
update.
I don't believe it fails it, but I believe it aborts the last 200 that haven't kicked off yet.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a good one to use if you're trying to do something within a certain time frame.
Yep. Like you have a week to get something done and only certain hours during the week.
Yeah. And then
like
this
that.
stop deploying to targets if they fail so many times, pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
This one ties into imaging quite a bit. Stop deploying to targets once they succeed. So if I was to check that on that Wake on LAN package, I send that Wake on LAN package today.
Yep.
Tomorrow, when it goes to run, it says, oh, I already did that for all your machines. I was already successful deploying that. I'm not going to run it again.
Yeah, we don't want that in Wake on LAN.
Right.
But we do
But for
want
those
that.
testing ones, though, where we're deploying a certain version of an application, we want it to keep history and know that it deployed that version. So if that schedule kicks off again, it goes, I'm not touching that. I already did that version.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. Another caveat where this comes in is your reimaging machines. Obviously, reimaging is a bane of all of our existence. But if I have a machine, Hulk, and I deploy something to Hulk, and then I have to reimage it for something, bad hard drive, whatever.
Yeah, because that and you keep the same DNS name.
Yeah. So reimage Hulk, and then Hulk doesn't have the latest version of Chrome on it. So it falls into that collection. Schedule kicks off. That schedule says, I already did that. So you can actually either turn it off to make that decision, or you can go to the target history, and whatever has been deployed will have a history here, and you can either delete it from all schedules, like Hulk from every schedule that it's run, or just from that particular application.
Love it.
And you can do that from command line too.
I love that. Speaking of, can I drive for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead,
All
please.
right. I got a couple things I want to show. The first one here is updating custom variables from the command line. In this particular case, we don't hate me. We're using the ISE. We're on Hanks's computer. I didn't want to set up VS Code. It works. So here we are. A use case for this, right, is I've got an application that I run in my business that I can't get from the library. So I can't take advantage of the PDQ variable library.
Yep.
But I want to mimic that same behavior. And so the magic that happens with that behavior is the variables updating. This is what defines your old, latest, not installed, that type of thing, right? So I've got this really, really simple script here, and we're just changing a variable to the name of blah, right? We can change it to stuff.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
let's go to actual inventory and show where the variables are.
Okay, remind me to close it so we don't get an error here in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, because we did that before in pre-show.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised you remembered where to go.
Yeah, me too.
By the
Okay.
way, Zach threw that out there. ISE, I used to look up to you, Josh.
Whatever, Zach.
I know.
So here, before the show, we ran this, we tested it, we set it to blah. We're going to go change it to stuff.
Yeah. So real quick, just to kind of throw this out. So these are custom variables I've created in my console for applications. And I've done this, like you can see a lot of antivirus stuff in there. I don't have all those, but for customers, I try and show that they can manage their own applications and build their own variables and then change the value in one place versus multiple.
Exactly. Right. So here we're just setting the variable value to stuff. And this is just a string.
Right.
Now, if I was a thinking person, maybe I'd have this script be running on a computer, like a reference computer that I keep updated, and I can grab the variable. Maybe it's in a registry location. So instead of just setting it to stuff, I actually execute a little bit of logic here to return it. And then what we do is when we run this thing, hopefully creds are still there from our get creds above.
Yay.
What's going to happen is we're going to update that variable with stuff. And here I've got it wrapped in invoke command because maybe you're running it on a machine that isn't inventory. If it's running on the machine, you don't have to wrap it. You don't have to use the using variables.
Like if you're on your console sending it to the server or something like that.
This is just an example of I'm on a different machine, but I need to update it on inventory. So we run it, we get the output, and now if we come back to options and variables, we'll see instead of blah, this variable is now stuff.
Yay.
So you can be returning this stuff dynamically instead of having to do it manually all the time.
Yep.
All right. Next thing I want to show, and we'll just talk through this one here. Well, actually, we'll kick off the deployment. We'll show that it happens. Same thing, but instead of updating a variable, you can just kick off a package from the command line. Here, we're going to tell your computer to go deploy GIMP to Hulk.
And just to be clear, this is a package we've already downloaded from the library. We went to the console. We saw that it was listed.
Yeah.
Right there at the...
Here, deploying,
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, we've downloaded the package and made it available before we run this command. It's not going to just pull it down from the library.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, so you have to give it the exact name of the package in here.
Yep.
All right, finally, this, I think, is the coolest thing that I've seen from you. So this is a script here.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, there's some tomfoolery. This is a script here that will build a collection for you based off of just answering some questions.
Yes. You want to do it live?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to run this script. Okay, so give me a name of a variable.
Well, the name of the variable is going to be like app name. I kind of follow the same structure PDQ uses.
App name.
So let's use Kelly.
Kelly. Okay.
Okay. The application name is actually called Kelly Hammer.
Okay.
What?
And it has to be verbose. That is looking at it the same way we would put it in for building a collection, right? It has to either have the space, dash, whatever.
I'm not getting white space
No.
here.
I mean, there's no application called Kelly Hammer.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for the verboseness of it, make sure it's matching what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay. Variable name is going to be app ver Kelly.
Okay.
And then the version is whatever you decide.
2.
He's AI confirmed. Perfect. Now hit enter. Oh, does the application name does Kelly Hammer have the version in the name? Like 7-zip, remember I showed you it has like 19, all that? No, it doesn't. So in that case, this is going to change the output of that to say whether it's equals, starts with the application name, whatever.
Okay.
And look, it saved it as an XML.
So it's in the script root, right? Here's our Kelly Hammer XML. So if we, come over here and we go
up to,
import. Here.
Now we have a collection. Expand it. It'll take a second for the variables, but what this will actually do, you can, it'll import the entire collection structure.
Yeah.
And it has latest, not installed old, just like we have in the collection library. And if you click on latest, you'll see that I don't think the variables come through yet, but it'll update it and use the variables that you created.
So we built all of this on the fly, including
the variables.
What is the app named Kelly?
Kelly.
And there's Kelly Hammer.
Yep. And the version down below.
Yep. 2.0.
Yep.
That is super neat.
Are you going to put that in bonus content for everybody?
I think we should.
Probably.
All right. Here, the one caveat here with this script is like it's based off of these other structured XMLs in here. It uses them as a template.
Yeah. So the only thing you'll see, like this is ours. So customer collections won't be in there.
Yep.
But auto collection, PowerShell script, and then the name of your application and the PDQ inventory will be the ones that you'll see in that zip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
We have 4 questions whenever you're ready.
Let's get some questions.
I'm ready to try to be stumped.
Okay.
I'm throwing the gauntlet.
Here we go. Does the Morse code anyway in PDQ inventory work, placement, etc. for all admins if you're using PDQ server, or does it only work for the user that created it?
So my dash.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, those are dots, not dashes, Chad. No, I'm just giving you a hard time. So the view that you would see in central server mode is going to be what everybody sees. So yeah, that'll be visible for everybody.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, we have a question from Kevin B. He'd like to know, I've seen random applications that were created from Chrome shortcuts. The publisher is always value Google/Chrome. Any way for the application report to not detect those?
Uninstall them? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
no.
You could probably do this on the filter set.
Oh, you're talking about like in the collections that we have, or he says in a report?
Yeah, I think in this, like in the applications report, like this
So
guy.
you can take that second one?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is it's going to show everything that's installed. Take 7-zip.
But if we edit it right here in the filter, we could say all, not any.
Yeah, you could add an additional filter to kind of like leave those out.
Publisher, application, publisher contains, blah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's going to filter it out of that report.
Yeah, that would be the only way to do that.
Yep.
2 more questions. What is your favorite underutilized feature or tool? Fortress.
My new favorite is the command history that I just learned. Like, that's game changing.
I like it. I am not a PowerShell guy. I think I'm pretty straightforward about that. So I will say there's 2 things that I really enjoy in this product, and it depends on the use case for what you're doing.
Okay.
Again, I came from education.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I always hated was if I go to a computer right now and I just double click on any computer, it's going to show me based on scan data, right? So this isn't scanning every 5 minutes who the logged on user is, current user display name. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
When you're talking about like a computer lab or something that is a public computer that a lot of people can log in and out of, you don't have that information. So I added to my tools menu the get logon history PowerShell script from the library that we have that basically will launch that and show me all the sessions of who's logged in and out.
Oh, that's neat.
And you could do that with a PowerShell script too if this is something you want all the time.
Yeah.
So that you constantly have that. That's a lot of data to fill up. For me, it was more like proving that Johnny logged into a computer and did something. It was really the
Okay, like that.
My other favorite thing is, and I think you mentioned this kind of earlier, is anything that makes your job easier that helps you kind of like prioritize stuff.
Yep.
I liked doing a WMI filter to find applied GPOs.
Okay, instead of running like GP result.
Yeah, okay. I liked having my own table, and I could do it on the fly if we want to do it. But basically building a WMI scanner, custom scanner, to go look at applied computer GPOs, not user GPOs, so that I could see on the table every GPO that was applied to a machine so I could make sure it was getting applied, build a collection on it. Who doesn't have this? Who still has this?
You mean instead of just running GP update / force over and over and over?
Yeah. So, I know. Sad that WMI is going away eventually. But we have PowerShell.
Yeah, we'll replace it.
Yeah.
We'll replace it with
that's kind of my favorites, but.
Love it.
All right. We have one more question in the queue.
Josh has more stuff too, just so you know.
Cool info, but when are we going to get this type of stuff more often for Connect? Sincerely, CM.
Well, let's see. How long has deploy and inventory been around for?
Oh, let's see. I started on version 1.1 in November, December of 2011.
Yeah. So 13 years. Give us some time.
I will say this, though. If you think about how long it took for us to develop deploy and inventory, we already have the blueprint.
Yeah.
So we know what customers want. I will say this. If you go to the PDQ website and go to the Connect page and then go down to the bottom of that, there's the roadmap, the public roadmap. And we're updating that often, doing stuff in there. If you really have something that you're like, I can't go to Connect until this feature's there, and I want to tell you why, there's a link.
Yeah.
Click on it, and it will get you a calendar invite for a developer, and you can talk to them and say, or product manager, and basically say, I want to talk to you about my use case, why I need this, how can I do this without it? They want your feedback. They want to hear from customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody click that button today. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm counting on you.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you learned something. I know I did. Appreciate it, Jason. For PDQ, I'm Josh.
I'm Hanks. Sometimes.
More times than not. Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Kevin B. and J.M. Wink, winners of PDQ swag. Send me your shipping info, where you want us to send your fun stuff, to webcast@pdq.com. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us your comments. Join us on Discord. It's going to be a party. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you back here next time.